Hey, Great Northern Dad here. Just wanted to let you all in on something I did here. This is something that all the gun manufacturers will tell you you should not do, and I will definitely offer some words of caution if you decide you want to attempt this. But I have successfully determined a way to load my Pietta 1858 Remington replica with the very inexpensive Clay's Smokeless powder. Let me show you kind of what I did here. This is the piece in question. This is a Pietta 1858 Remington replica. This I got at Cabela's. This is the one with the 5.5 inch barrel, not the 8-inch barrel. And I'll be honest, this has such a nice balance, a nice fit and finish. I wish I could remember the name of the young man at Cabela's who hooked me up with this. This is very, very nice. What I've done here, just for the sake of showing you, I actually have loaded 6. I've got I'm in the safety notch right now, but I've loaded 6, and I have alternated the Smokeless and the 777 loads, and I want to shoot these, and then I'll show you what I did, tell you what I did as much as I dare, because I know YouTube has some kind of bizarre rules about this these days. Alright, I have the camera propped up here. I honestly do not know which is going to come first. It'll be very obvious from the smoke level which one I have loaded first. And I also am debating on whether there's a difference in the report. It sort of sounds like there is to me, but maybe the recording will make that clearer. Here we go. That was Smokeless. Smokeless. Obviously. I'm not really aiming, but the stump, of course, is getting the worst of whatever I'm throwing down range here. So let me show you what I did. Of course, one of the things that these are noted for is the easily removable cylinder. Before we go down what I actually did, that's cat pieces there, want to kind of show you the difference between the residue. Okay, finally got the thing to focus. I want to show you the difference between the residue. This, you can actually see where the black powder, which I will point out, I'm not using real black powder, or this would be a whole lot more obvious. But there is a definite difference in the amount of residue that the black powder left on its chambers versus the smokeless powder. You can see this one and this one and this one have more pronounced rings because of the mess that the debris that the black powder substitute leaves. And I'll actually show you kind of how I did this off the gun. Maybe YouTube won't ban this. This is Hodgdon Clay's smokeless powder. This is one of the cheapest there is. I think I paid just over $20 for this pound container. And you'll notice in the reloading data, if it focus, there we go, 44 special, 4.6 grains, 165 grain cast lead round nose. That's very similar to what we're working with in this particular black powder pistol. So, of course, what I ended up doing is I figured out that the correct charge for this, somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.6 grains, is about 2/3 of a 1/4 teaspoon. So I guess I'm too tired to do the math on that, but this 1/4 teaspoon, if I fill this about 2/3 of the way up, it's just perfect for that pistol. Of course, that leaves a problem. That's not very much powder in these big cylinders. These big cylinders, they're over an inch deep, and that much powder only fills them up to about there. And the ramrod can't stuff the bullet down that far. So my solution is I actually have my black powder flask full of cornmeal. So basically, I put 2/3 of a quarter teaspoon of the, pardon my sophisticated tables here, 2/3 of a quarter teaspoon of Hodgkin clays, and then 30 grains by volume of cornmeal, and that takes up pretty much the perfect amount of space to where I can then stuff these Hornady swaged muzzle loading balls right over the top of it. And I'm going to do a couple more. I think I'm going to do straight smokeless this time, and as I don't have somebody to hold the camera while I do it, I'm just going to do it, and then we'll shoot again. Here's our cylinder with the little bit of smokeless powder in the bottom. You can just see it there. This is not, obviously using the spoon is not the most precise method of measuring, but it's reasonably accurate, I think, and I get pretty consistent results. And there it is with 30 grains of, by volume, not by weight, of cornmeal on top. Fills them up pretty good, but the powder and the cornmeal are both very compressible, so those balls will pack right in there, no problem at all. I'm going to put it back in the gun and pack some balls. And there are 6 cylinders with the balls in. You can see a little bit sloppy there with my lead rings, but those balls pack in there really nice. Powder and the cornmeal are both very compressible. There you go. Got a cap and fire. And here we are. We're all capped. Got it in the safety notches. Safety notch. This is why you can see a cap on either side here. The hammer is actually in between, so if I threw this on the ground right now, there is absolutely no way it would fire because the caps are protected. It's a very, very nice, very well designed gun. I guess theoretically this one exposed cap on the side where you cap it could theoretically hit something and go off, but this is a very, very safe cap and ball revolver. And I will be experimenting with some other things with it here, which I will tell you about at the end of the video. Okay, straight smokeless. Full disclosure, I am not the world's best shot, but I am actually going to try to hit that rock this time. Here we go. 6 smokeless loads right up. There she goes. That's all 6. Okay, we've fired all 6 of these, and there's a little bit of debris. You can kind of see where the powder didn't burn entirely, but nothing worrisome, and a lot less mess than certainly real black powder. It's about the same amount of mess really as my black powder substitute leaves in the cylinder, but it's totally non-corrosive. So also looking at the cylinder here, there is of course focus. My camera doesn't want to focus, but there's no distortion in the cylinder at all. I feel like it could do this all day, every day for a very long time and not have any ill effects. I think the reason that manufacturers say not to do it is that volume for volume, smokeless is roughly 3 times as powerful, and so if you threw black powder or smokeless powder like black powder in here, you'd end up with a triple load, and there's just no way that that could reliably handle that. The other danger, of course, is not seating the ball correctly and over such a small physical volume if you're doing it by pressure, if you forget to do the inert material. So I think that's why they just say don't do it. But I think I've proven that it can be done without ruining your gun, as long as you are alert to the pressures and cognizant of the difference between the two propellants. Okay, to wrap up, I do want to let you know that sometime in the near future I do plan to upload a video of the results of my experiment. I plan to put the Hornady Critical Defense hollow point bullets in this. They're a little small, but I think a patch should take up the space, and I'll upload the results of that once I have some. This is Great Northern Dad. Have a nice day.